Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, please write in the chat if my voice is clear. Okay, it's clear. Today, we have Prof. Mاريا on behalf of KNX He is a tutor for many years ago. Today, we will discuss about the legacy and the future of the KNX. I think this session and the online interview will be useful for anyone need to build his career and know about the development of the KNX from its beginning till now and what is next in the future. Prof. Jos, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Thank you very much for having me today here. I'm very happy to have the possibility, the chance to talk to you from Miami, where I'm now in the United States, to all of you to give you this overview about what is KNX and how can you go further in your career with KNX. Thank you very much for the invitation.
It is our pleasure to invite you for this session and your accepting your acceptance for this session. It is our pleasure and we are appreciating your time.
Thank you.
You are from Spain or from United States?
I'm originally from Spain, and I decided to move to the United States 1, 2 years ago only, and that's where I'm living now.
You are living in Miami, in United States.
Yes, that's correct. I'm living in Miami. Maybe you can see from the environment, I'm in Miami now. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So how many years ago and how many years you are tutor for the KNX and why did you select this field to start your career?
Okay, that's a good question because maybe it can help some other one like me that I was before to start into this KNX business. I'm working with KNX since 20 years ago already. Once I finished my university degree, I started working with KNX. I met KNX in a project where I was working at, and then I decided that going or making an effort of yourself as an engineer into a non-proprietary system is the way to go. So other than working with proprietary system with non-standardized systems, I think to work with an open standard, globally approved, internationally approved like KNX is the best investment someone in this field can do for him or herself. So with that said, I decided to go for KNX. I started getting trained KNX, and I also started my KNX tutor course, you said before, right? 5 years after I met KNX. So I'm KNX tutor for 15 years already, 1 5 already. I've been training more than 1,000 students all over the world, not just in Spain or Europe, but also in Middle East, in China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Thailand, many countries, and now in the United States. I'm KNX tutor in the United States now. We have a KNX training center in Miami, and we are training more and more people in KNX.
Thanks for this great information. The KNX started its revolution in the Middle East. I think 6 years ago. But we have most requirements for the lighting control in the commercial building and the automation for the smart homes and to apply smart home in residential sectors. But I think starting your career from 20 years ago, KNX, you don't have a lot of information about the KNX. How did you start your career, especially for this? Because I started my career in KNX 6 years ago. and I found many obstacles to learn more about the technical of the KNX. So you started from 20 years ago. So how did you find the KNX from your beginning and till now? Yeah, do you have a tangible revolution, some easy of use for the KNX, the interface, something like that?
Well, first of all, I have to say I am not a KNX partner. I am a EIB partner.
Mm.
That means
Yeah.
that I was trained. Yeah, I was trained during the EIB
Ah,
era. So that was long ago. So at the beginning, it was called EIB. Okay, then it became KNX and then KNX.
yes.
So at the beginning, it was the manufacturers that were pushing KNX in all the countries. You could find KNX trainings, you could find also products and so on from the manufacturer. So if you wanted to go for KNX, you had to go for a manufacturer, either a Siemens, ABB, Jungs, Schneider Electric, the big ones. Now we have opened this to many other people, many other professionals, like you, for instance, are promoting KNX. They do not belong to any specific brand, KNX member, KNX manufacturer, let's say, right? This is very useful. This is very useful because KNX can reach many other groups of people, many other target in the industry. We can also go for younger people, and I think this is the way to go. So that was at the beginning from manufacturers, and now I see the trend going from people that really believe in KNX followers, that they want to share the knowledge in this open protocol.
Okay, and what's your expectation for the KNX and its integration with IoT? And how do you see this? I think 2 years ago, KNX started to make webinars about the KNX and IoT. So, how do you think this step it will be useful, and how can we use this technology and the integration between KNX and IoT in the future and in the current?
Okay, so for KNX, so technology, the only way to go further in the long term is IoT. And I say this because I'm in a country, I'm in the United States, where everything is the latest trends, the latest technology. So that's what I can see from many, many manufacturers, not just in the KNX or home automation business, but also in another business, in another markets also. So IoT is the way to go. And wireless, not always wireless. Okay, sometimes we need to go for wired solutions because we also need, at the end, we still need to provide power. And so far, the power doesn't go without a wire. Okay, so this is the trend I see. But yeah, as long as many KNX members and KNX manufacturers and non-KNX manufacturers are into the IoT world, the more KNX companies will start producing KNX devices. And this is what KNX IoT devices, and this is what is happening now, especially in the commercial buildings where we can find thermostats, we can find valve controllers and so on. IoT, KNX IoT ready.
So do you think the combination between KNX and wireless solution in the future? يعني sometimes who sometimes are there is a clients ask it why I don't use يعني why I use should I use KNX and use and they don't use a wireless solution. So I
Mhm.
know يعني there is some many options for the KNX and not included in the wireless. So what do you think about this topic?
Well, I think so far, and this is my experience in several buildings, we can keep the KNX traditional. We call it the so-called KNX traditional, which is the KNX system for the backbone of the building, for the main topology of the building, and then we can go wireless to some, let's say, rooms, some areas where it's not that easy to deploy cable. So I think a hybrid system or a mixed system between both technologies I think is the best approach today, because you can get the most of the KNX system pair, where we have a lot of KNX type devices type. We have many solutions, we have many controllers and so on. But you can also get all the power of KNX IoT, because we have a huge amount of thermostats and sensors, CO2 sensors, air quality sensors. So I think today the best way to go and to get the most of both systems is to have a mix of both. And this is actually one of the key factors, one of the key points for KNX, that KNX ensures the backwards compatibility. So if you have a KNX IoT device, it will always be compatible with KNX Twisted Pair. And that's as I said before, the key point for KNX in the upcoming years.
Okay, but which market is eager to apply KNX? You mentioned you worked for many markets. Which market is eager to apply KNX, and which country is eager to learn about the KNX and implement KNX in their market? And you mentioned Taiwan, Thailand, Middle East, and United States, Europe. I think let us make Europe and other sides about the Middle East and Thailand and Taiwan.
I think right now, Middle East is one of the most prominent areas regarding KNX today.
Why?
Yeah, from that side. Why? Because you don't have so many regulations in terms of electrical regulations. As long as the devices comply with CE or they are approved in Europe, they are also approved in Middle East, you don't have any more constraints that you import those devices. This is something that is not happening in the United States, for instance. That's why the acceptance of KNX in the United States is not as fast as we'd like to, because we need to get many approvals before going into the market. I'm talking about UL certifications, for instance. You cannot use any device that you are using now in the European market or Middle East market into the United States. You need to get UL approved. And to do so, the manufacturers need to invest a lot of money in getting that approval. So that's why we don't have many KNX devices ready to be used in the United States, except for the low voltage, which in theory, they can be used in the United States without the UL listed. So yeah, the most prominent country, the most prominent area, I would say, is Middle East. But as soon as KNX may provide a huge range of devices in the United States, it will go skyrocketing to the end, because the market is here. The market is in the United States. You don't need to create the market. You need to pull the market to you, because this building, that house, is going to have building automation, 100%. It's not you don't need to convince the owner. You don't need to convince the engineers to have building automation. It's already in the building. But you just need to convince them to go for KNX instead of going for BACnet, or instead of going for another proprietary technology. We are not competing with BACnet, actually. Okay, we are partners. But instead of going for a proprietary system, you need to convince them to go for KNX. So it's a huge market. There is a huge market in the United States, because the business is here already. But you don't need to create the business.
But UL list is an additional certificate. The KNX devices contains IEC and ISO certificates. So importing the devices in the Middle East, we don't have regulation, as you mentioned, for that.
Correct.
But the United States have UL list, additional certificate, not a mandatory for importing the device in the Middle East. So we are importing from many countries from Europe with different brands: Hager, Schneider, ABB, MTT, Jira, also thinking X from China. Many brands from China also. So we don't have this additional certificate required. There is some project the project management request UL list, but it is enlightening يعني and drivers. So it is related to the lighting itself and drivers, not related. يعني this is my first time to hear about UL list for the KNX devices.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not for K. First of all, let me clarify something. KNX certification, KNX certification is nothing. And I
Nothing
know
for
what I'm saying. Nothing for the countries, let's say. I mean, let me explain this. Don't get me wrong, okay?
okay.
The KNX logo, the KNX certification is only valid in the KNX ecosystem. It ensures and it makes sure that this device complies with everything in terms of compatibility with other KNX also registered and certified devices. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to import something into a country, I don't mind which country, let's say India or Colombia or United States. Even if you say, hey, this is a KNX device, they will say, so?
Yes.
I mean, this is a certification that you yourself made. This is a certification that KNX Association made for themselves to warranty the compatibility of all KNX certified devices. With that said, you need to comply with another certifications that are worldwide accepted, like EMC, like CE, like UL, like CSA, like ETL, depends on the country. Okay. So you need to check for your local regulations to see what they are asking for if you want to use this product in this country. And this is not because it's a KNX product. This is because it's an electrical product that is using over 29 volts. So, for instance, in the United States, every single product that is using over 29 volts, which is considered non-low voltage, over 100 VA watts, almost watts, you need to have the dual certification. And this is a national, this is as per National Electrical Code in the United States. So it's regulated from the government. Not because it's KNX, just because it's an electrical product. They don't care if that's KNX or DALI or whatever product it is. It's because it's an electrical product with power. That's all.
يعني yeah, as I get your point, UL is an additional certificate to improve this device يعني follow some regulation in the United States. So UL listed for يعني which brands can you can import to US, American state.
You can import any brand. You can
But
import any brand, but you
after
cannot
getting this
use.
certificate.
No. You can import any brand. You can use if you want any brand, but the inspectors will not approve your product if your products are not dual listed. Because in the United States we have inspectors, so they check the electrical installations. So you can use it. I mean, it's not forbidden by law. It's not forbidden by law. There is no law that says you cannot use or you need to use only dual listed devices. That's false. There is no law for that. But for instance, as I said, the electrical inspectors will reject the project if they are not dual listed, for instance.
Even
The
you are build
insurance,
your sorry. Yeah,
the
sorry.
insurance companies, will not issue the insurance if they are not dual listed, for instance. So you will be facing real problems if your device is not dual listed. You don't want to go for a non-dual listed device where dual listed is needed.
But even if I يعني if I import my devices for my home, I can't get the approval from the inspector. يعني if
No,
يعني here in the Middle East we are building our homes. Sometimes we are building our homes under my responsibility. So in the
no, you
United
cannot do it.
States you can do it.
You cannot.
So you have to
You
get the
cannot.
UL.
You need to get the UL for those devices over 29 volts.
Oh.
So, for instance, keypad, okay? A keypad is 29 volts. For many states, not all the states, because some states, they require UL for everything. low voltage, non-low voltage, and everything. But for some states, you can use low voltage devices like keypad or occupancy sensors as low voltage devices in the product. And no one will say anything. Electrical inspector will say, okay, this is low voltage device. This is not in my scope. But let's have a look at the power supply. The KNX power supply has an input, which is 120 or 230, whatever. In case of the United States, 120. So they will check, since this is over 29 volts, this is not low voltage, they will check that the KNX power supply is dual listed. As long as the KNX power supply is dual listed, that means it's gonna be class 2 device. You can use that power supply in the building.
Oh, okay. What do you think about Crestron?
Crestron is a proprietary system. It's very well known because of its audio-visual capabilities. It's very focused in the audiovisual market, and it's great for that market. It works perfect, and they also have KNX integration. So,
but the competition between KNX and Crestron, who will who will win this competition?
There is no competition in the United States between Crestron and the KNX because the scope is different. In the United States, are you talking about the United States or worldwide?
Sorry? Worldwide.
Are you talking about
because
worldwide?
Here I'm in KSA, and I faced many projects, luxury project using Crestron, not using KNX. So I'm asking about which will be the one in this competition.
Well, it depends. If your product is more focused in the audiovisual market, then Crestron is more powerful. If your product is more powerful, if your product is more focused on the lighting control, shading, HVAC integration, and pool integration, irrigation system, and so on, and you want to integrate many things, KNX is the winner. So I think it depends on the scope of the product.
Okay. Okay, so in the following days, if you need to advise some people who will start their career in KNX, how they start their careers. What is your advice for them? Start with getting KNX basics or start reading about the KNX at first, and what do you think? Okay,
good question. And I hope it helps many people. First of all, follow me on LinkedIn. Why I say this because I post there many tips, many advice about how to start a KNX business, how to do this with KNX. So I think it's a very valuable content for many people that is in the KNX business. Okay,
you are very active on LinkedIn and in the Middle East, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So follow me. Thank you for that. And follow me on LinkedIn. And the second thing I would say is get trained. Get trained. And I'm going to tell you something very important. Many people say, no, but to program KNX devices, I don't need the KNX basic course. That's true. That is true. You don't need the KNX basic course to program to commission KNX device. You can do it by yourself. We are engineers. We know how to make everything. We don't need to read manuals. We know everything, right? But you need to think one thing. You are not buying just knowledge. You are also buying time. So you are buying and you are investing in something that will give you in 1-2 days what you will be learning in 6 months. So time is the most important thing. Time is very important. So you don't want to waste time. So I recommend you go for a training, to go for a KNX certified training course. So you choose the tutor with experience that can give you in 1-2 days everything you need to know to go into the market. My advice is to choose a KNX training center with an experienced KNX tutor that have been working in projects, for instance, because he or she can give you tricks and tips. He can give you, okay, really take a look. I've been working in this already, so I recommend you to do this, and this. You know what I mean? So it's important to choose the right KNX training center and the right KNX tutor. The third thing I would say is you don't need money. You don't need money to start in KNX. Don't get me wrong. What I mean is that many people says, okay, but I don't have money to invest in a company. I don't have money to invest in ETS. I don't have money to invest in products, stock, to buy products. You don't need it. Do you have a phone? Do you have voice to talk? Do you have hands to write? So start doing. Start your business now. Don't wait until you have stock products to sell. No, go and try to get your first product and start step by step. That's my advice. Start step by step. Talk to people, talk to customers. Try to be confident for them. Try to transmit whatever you need so they can trust you, and try to go. I try to start. This is what I would say. Start now. Don't waste time. Time, as I said, is the most important thing. So those are the three advices I would say.
So do you recommend some websites for people who need to start their career in KNX? And you mentioned don't invest in يعني if you have money, or if you don't have, you need to make a search, chat with anyone, ask about the information. So do you have some websites it will be useful for anyone to need to learn about the KNX?
Absolutely. First of all, knx.org website. This is the
For
official
sure.
website. This is the official website for KNX International. So I recommend you to go there. The second website is KNX Virtual. I'm not sure about the website now. I think it's virtual.knx.org. Take a look at KNX Virtual. KNX Virtual. That's a tool from KNX International that allows you to practice KNX, to play with KNX devices. So you can simulate a KNX installation with sensors, actuators, occupancy sensors, weather stations, thermostats, even thermostats. You can do room control and so on. I really recommend you to go for KNX Virtual. And the third one, last but not least, follow me on LinkedIn, because why I tell you this, because in the next weeks, we are gonna launch the most amazing platform for KNX learning that ever.
You will launch.
Yes, we will do it. So I really recommend you to stay tuned, because this is gonna change the game rules. So really, so take a look at this and follow me, and you will see.
Okay. You have a website. يعني you was a CEO
Yes.
you were a CEO for many companies for KNX. So in many different countries. So right now you are moving from some countries to another country, something like that. We need your experience, which يعني what I mean, you have experience with many countries as a CEO. So being as a CEO, you have a great of information. So your advice for anyone need to start his business in KNX. يعني if I get a KNX as a tutor, and I need to start my career as a company promoting for myself for KNX services. So your advice.
Okay, so my advice is, because this is something that from my point of view, I think it's making damage for too many people that is following social media and so on, because they say you need to create your own company, don't work for anyone, work for yourself, create your own whatever, right? I think there is nothing bad to work in a company, to work for another one. There is nothing, because you know what I mean, right? Because now we see, no, you need to start your own company, you need to start working for yourself. No, don't get it wrong. You can You can continue working for a company, big company, a small company, it doesn't matter, which is not yours company, it's not your company, and you still can be entrepreneur in that company. You still can develop things. You still can create a new department. You still can work with another colleague to create a new idea and things like that. You don't need to do only by yourself, for yourself, without anyone else. I don't think that's the only one approach. That's what I wanted to say. So if you had the possibility to start working in a company, great, go for it. And again, some people is ready to make hard decisions by working by himself or themselves, but some people are not ready for this, and they prefer to work for a company, not to make so hard decisions, but also be entrepreneur in the company. So both options are good. That's what I would say. If you work for a big company, ABB, Siemens, big KNX companies, you still can create your own KNX training center in your country under Siemens name. Why not? Why not? It's not bad. You can do it. Don't think the only way to go is doing by yourself, leave everything, and start by myself. That's not the only option.
So for your website, knxsupply.com, you are selling devices also and services. So
Yes.
which brand is favorite for you? And which brand you you like to use it?
One of the good things for KNX is that every single manufacturer is special. So you can find very good design with Jung. You can find very good touch panels at Vivus. You can find very powerful application program at MDT. You can find beautiful keypads from Electron, for instance. You can find so powerful devices that can combine with KNX. You're talking about DALI from Lunatone. So that's the beauty of KNX, that every single manufacturer has something to offer that others do not. But the good thing is that you can match them. So I'm sorry, there is no answer for this from my side, because every manufacturer is unique. And that is what it makes KNX beautiful.
But you didn't mention any Chinese brand. You didn't.
No special reason, to be honest. No, there is no special reason for that. Chinese people, Indian people, now they are doing. We have very good brands in China and India. Very good brands in terms of quality, really.
And I use many devices for KNX, for touch screen from GVS itself. It is not a marketing for any brand, by the way. It's not a marketing, but it is has it is equal to KNX at Italian. So I think there is a Chinese brand has good quality, and also there is actuator from other brand station Conti, and this actuator is 29 output. It is great. So the market, and also in Tera, it has 24 channel. So I think
Maximum.
there is a combination for the project from many devices. We can control the cost. You mentioned in the United States you don't need to convenience the client using the KNX and the smart control. That's mean all the building in US is smart, automated.
That's correct.
Right.
I don't want to say.
Even
I don't want to
apartments.
say all of them. I don't want to say all of them. That's a very hard word. That more than you can imagine, more than in our country, origin countries, more than that. Even apartments, of course, not all the apartments, of course, but you can find much more than in other countries. That's what I see.
Okay.
So you just need to convince them about KNX. You don't need to convince them to go smart. They will go with another brand, Matron, Control 4, Prestron. You just need to convince them to move or to go to the KNX side. Open standard, not tied to any manufacturer, and so on.
You need to convince them for the KNX, not for the smart as a concept.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. What about your activity outside USA? US. You mentioned Colombia, Thailand,
It's hard.
Taiwan.
It's harder. It's harder. In these countries, you need to convince them to go smart because the benefits of energy efficiency, energy management, you can control everything from one single point. It provides you comfort. You press one button and everything happens. So it's different. It's different. The approach is different.
But in United Emirates, the lighting control and the electrical code for all the commercial building. And if you will build any tower or any offices or any something like that, you have to use lighting control system. And it is يعني it is different. يعني United Emirates is different than all the Middle East countries till now. But I think in the future, for all the building, especially in Saudi Arabia, the lighting control will be for all the buildings. So I think it's a revolution for using KNX in the future for Middle East and Saudi Arabia also. But you have any information you need to share with us today? Any extra information, something like that?
About where? Which country?
No, in general information from your experience
Well,
dealing with people. If you need to be a sales, I need to be a technical office, need to be something like that.
uh, well, if you can convince the technical people involved in the project that KNX is the way to go, you have won the project. Because if they say this needs to be KNX, this is what it's gonna be, you know. So they will go for KNX, and now more and more countries are accepting and incorporating KNX as the standard. It's a national standard, so that's good because it's for instance China, KNX is approved as a national standard. So all the buildings, if you go with a solution based with KNX, you are good because it complies with the national regulation, right? So it helps. It helps to get KNX into the building.
Okay, I don't have any other questions for this today. And also we have some questions from Engineer Amr. What are the practical and cost-effective solutions for controlling HVAC or HVAC system using KNX? This is the first part of the question.
If you want to control chillers, big machines, big solutions, already working standalone, let's say in a hotel, something like this, my advice is to connect to them over backlog. So this solution, HVAC solution, is working independently. So connect to KNX with backlog because for sure they will have backlog. If you have a small HVAC project like a fan coil, something like this, you can use KNX devices directly. You need to go through a third-party interface or something like this.
Gateways or actuators, something like that.
Yes, correct. Easy, yes. Gateways like from many brands. Or actuators directly to control the fan coil, fan speed, and valves.
Okay, the second part of the question, what is the best and easiest approach for control also for the HVAC? And should I only replace the thermostat or is it better to install a gateway? I think it's according to the type of the AC, as you mentioned. For chiller, we have different method to control for the fan coil unit, and I think this is يعني not depending on the KNX, it's depending on the AC or HVAC system we are using in the building. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, correct. It also depends if we are talking about residential building, commercial building. If you want to monitor or you also want to control, it's different because depending on the country, mechanical engineers, HVAC, and electrical engineers, electrical control, they are not involved. They are separate disciplines, and you don't want to mess them up. So that's why maybe you just want from the KNX side, which is more lighting, you just want to monitor what's happening in the HVAC side. You don't want to control, or you don't want to mess up with the HVAC side. So it also depends.
By the way, we hold an online interview 2 weeks before for using how can we make an integration between KNX and HVAC. And I also uploaded this. يعني it was 17 minutes online interview using KNX integration for many things in the HVAC. With this interview was يعني hold with engineer there from he is a Syrian people and living in Emirates. We have another question.
Yeah.
I'm currently in a training phase and need a source to order KNX devices for practice. Which store should I order from, and what is the brand for this purpose? I think brand as you need, and the store. I think there is a store EIB Market. You can buy new or not new devices. That's right. Or if you have any recommendation.
Well, the marketplace I recommend is knxsupply.com, which is the one we are running.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, we have many online shops in the market today. So yeah, it depends on your country, depends on what are your needs. You can go to one or another one.
So if he orders from knxsupply.com, the devices will came from the country of origin or from the United States?
No, from the country of origin. We also have warehouses in Barcelona. So
okay.
They will be shipped from Barcelona. Yeah, even if you cannot find something in the store, you can reach us out and we can help you to find that.
Yeah, your warehouse contained all the devices you are using for KNX, and directly you can ship from Barcelona to the site location.
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
You are living in Barcelona.
Not through me?
Not me. يعني previously you was living in
Barcelona. Yeah. Correct. I was living in Barcelona. We have a company in Barcelona, the Monetio company, headquarters in Barcelona. So we have a warehouse there, and we ship from there worldwide.
Okay. Okay, and by the way, for this point, in my recommendation, also if I need to get experience, يعني need to get diving in deeply in KNX, I'm not recommended to use to get KNX Basics only. I recommend to use KNX Basic and Advanced, because the Advanced course contains many technical information for using the software itself, ETS, and using flags, technical diagnostics, something like that. So, do you support this point or you know?
100%. Actually, in the United States, we don't run KNX basic courses. We run KNX trainings, which are KNX basic and advanced. But you are right. If let's say if 100% is the total knowledge you get when you get a KNX basic and advanced course, basic is 10%, advanced is 90%.
90.
So if 90 is huge. I mean, you just learn the basics in the KNX basic course. You get certified to the first approach with the KNX technology. That's fine. You're good. But the good knowledge and the real knowledge, the practical knowledge, is in the KNX advanced course. So I highly recommend to go for the advanced course. And if you can get them both together, that would be great. That's what we do in the United States, actually.
You hold the KNX courses, and this course divided to two courses, basics and advanced.
Correct. There is no basic course only. There is no basic course. No available.
It contains, if I got your KNX course, I will get certificate for basic and certificate for advanced together.
That is correct.
Two exams.
Yes.
Okay.
2 exams, 2 trainings, 2 practical lessons, everything separately.
Okay.
You finish one, and then if you pass, you can go to the other one, of course. Sure.
Okay. Okay. يعني it is our pleasure for your time today
Okay.
through
No,
hosting me
it's been
for.
my pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me here today. And I'll be happy to share more knowledge with you. And yeah, as I was saying in the beginning, follow me on LinkedIn because I love to share my experiences on KNX worldwide, not just in the United States, but worldwide, product examples, trick and tricks. So yeah, I
Uh,
love what I do.
I will upload this tutorial in YouTube, and also I will add your websites and your LinkedIn
Thank
profile
you.
in the description box. Also, I think last thing, I think we have another question. Oh, okay, خلاص, no problem for that. I will share with you KNX link for the market engineer. I will share with you, no
So,
problem.
guys, if you don't mind, I have a couple of questions, if that's
Okay.
okay to you. Do you
Okay.
mind if I speak? Okay. So basically, George, Maria, thank you for speaking today. I just have three
Thank
questions,
you.
if you don't mind. How do you see the future of Phoenix in the States, specifically in the residence? Because in the Middle East, like Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, we have a fancy castles, the fancy lighting system, shutters, curtains. So most of the people using the scenes to use it. But in the States, they have a small condos, yeah, like the most of the people, small condo apartment. The concept of having a fancy castle is not usual in the States. So, how do you see the progress in the future? That's the first question. Shall I start finish my questions, or you should be answer one by one? Which do you prefer?
One by one is fine. So
Okay.
in the US market, we don't have only condos. We also have villas of 30 and 40 and $100 million. So we also have fancy keypads and so on. So there is market for everything. And I have to say, if you know KNX, you will agree with me that we can make a small apartment, small condo with just a few dollars. We don't need to spend a huge amount of money. Today, we have many brands, many manufacturers that are producing a huge range of KNX keypads from $50 to $1,000. So that's the beauty also of KNX. You can choose plastic or stainless steel or loans. So the good thing for KNX is that we can fit all those markets.
So I say, but what the benefits of having KNX automation in the small condo? Like I use the KNX in the fancy like villas to make a scene especially for the people. They have a plenty of lighting, the plenty of shutters, like make a scene like night scene. But if I have a small condo, couple of lights and like small curtains, what the benefits of using the KNX in this case?
For instance, the main benefit is the HVAC control. So you can schedule, you can control from abroad remotely. You can, if there is no one at home, it will be off. You can also integrate the video phone in case you have a video phone as well. That's what I see. There is no advantage in terms of lighting, for instance. You have 6 lights in all the apartment. There is no advantage for this. Shading, maybe yes, there is an advantage in this. Shading control, because if there is no one in the house, it will go down, So that's what I see, but you cannot compare the products. I mean, you cannot compare one product with another one. So if I get the benefits for this villa, which are this, and this, I don't see them in the condo. That's correct. Actually, you don't need KNX in a condo. But if you want to do something like I said, to control the HVAC system from outside, then you need a gateway. And then it's not a bad idea to go for KNX. So the needs are different. And of course, the possibilities too. So
Okay, I see. Thank you. The next question, if you don't mind, you told
Mhm.
us the KNX plus IoT is the future. So if you don't mind, could you please give us some examples about that, like what the meaning of KNX plus IoT, examples for that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for instance, in a commercial building, hotel, we install, let's say, retrofitting. Okay, we are retrofitting the hotel. Long ago, it was built, and now we are gonna go and retrofit. Okay, so we can install KNX IoT wireless devices in the rooms, and we can have IoT border routers in the aisles, in the corridors, so we can get the signals from the thermostat, and we can control the fan close in the rooms, for instance, and we can send all the information to the backbone of the building. So we are mixing here KNX system for the backbone, and we are also combining with KNX IoT for the room. And we have 1,000 rooms, and we have 500 rooms. So it's not that easy to wire 500 rooms. But however, if we go for a wireless solution, this works. And also mainly with sensors, I would say, or big areas where you need to install a lot of devices. This is where I see the benefit, because where wiring is a problem in terms of mainly for retrofitting, then KNX IoT can jump into a scene.
Okay, I see. That goes to the third question. The wireless is not rigid whatsoever. I mean, we've installed many wireless system in Jordan, and most of the customers remove it totally. So because we know the
Yep.
internet is not that rigid, so in the future it might be more rigid, or what do you think about that?
And I think that thread, for instance, thread and is a strong technology. And if you go for technology that work with in a mesh network, so that means every device is a node of all of them, I think it will help to get out this idea of wireless network. That's what I think. So yeah, mesh technology, thread, I think those are the ways to go.
I see. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Engineer Am, if you have any questions. And by the way, we are discussing right now, and if you don't have any question, we can end the interview.
Okay.
Okay. I think we don't have any other questions. I will try to keep in touch with you in the future, and I will
Please.
share
Okay.
also your websites and your LinkedIn profile on LinkedIn and description box in YouTube for this video after ending the meeting. Thanks for your time, and
Thank
we
you very
are
much.
appreciating your effort for sharing the knowledge and for your being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations for the YouTube channel, and continue like this. We need more people like you.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Thank you. Keep in
Gracias,
touch.
Jose.
Bye bye.
Gracias. Bye bye.
Gracias.
Bye
Ciao,
bye.
ciao. Bye bye.
Bye.